Okay, so today we'll be solving one of the exams that were given in the first course, the Introduction to Programming with Games. So this was Group 1. The problem is called Escape Floor, and it's relatively simple. I really wouldn't want to go through that, but there was a picture right down here where it was very clear what you have to do. So we have this person here that stands, and he's normally falling down. And so let me just start my zoom it here, please. All right. Okay, so you have this person. Let me just zoom in a bit. Okay, so you have this guy, and he normally goes down. So he falls. You can think, I don't know, out of a building or something like that. Something a bit more grim. Okay, and he has to go through these holes. So if he's on the floor, as it is here, he'll start moving up, and he has to move either left or right, so that he can go through these holes. And just try not to hit the ceiling. If you hit the ceiling, you pretty much die, and the game's over. Right, so these things here, they are the power-ups, which we'll be doing last. So this power-up increases the speed of the game, or increases the difficulty for a couple of seconds. The the yellow one here decreases the speed, and we have a green power-up which deletes the next couple of floors, so just they wouldn't spawn the next two or three floors. And yeah, so this had to be done in like 6 hours, but so yesterday I managed to do it in about 4. I have a bug which I really couldn't fix, and I don't know why it happens, but I hope that we can solve this. If not, it's a pretty working game, so I guess it'll be fine as is. All right, so let's get started. Are there any questions about the problem that we have to solve? No? Anyone? No. Not many people today, anyways. Right, so Visual Studio, let's fire that up. File, new project, and this will be called Escape Floor exam solution. And let's hit OK. Again, I would like to mention that we will not be using classes or object-oriented programming, just with the knowledge that you have from the first course. Since if you start using those now, it may become a lot more clear. But in the same time, we would like to make it with the knowledge that we had from the first course. So let's rename this. So Escape Floor. Yes. And leave the namespace. And what are we gonna use? So collections, I don't think. Link, maybe. These two we are not gonna use at all. So that doesn't. We can still follow some of the best practices for quality code, which we are going to be doing today as well. And one of them says that the usings have to be inside the namespace. All right, so how do we start? I don't know. Let's make a plan of the game. So what do you think? Did I close it? I think I did. Let me open it up again. So that we can make a plan, and I hope that there will be some suggestions as well. Oh, it was here already. All right, so okay, what do you think? Let's break it into smaller pieces and see which ones we can do easily. So there refers to a couple of things about this. What is this? S. All right. So we have the player. He moves left and right, and he falls down. If there is an obstacle, he has to go up, and so on. So yeah, let's break it up into pieces. So we have the player with the controls and the way he is drawn and so on. We have the floors which generate and move up, and we also have some UI here. I guess we will leave the power-ups last because at least I found them to be the hardest. I'm not sure, at least these ones. So yeah, so let's make a plan, like sort of. So what do you wanna put here? What do you wanna start with? Okay, draw the player. Okay, let's enumerate everything that's related to the player, so that you know. Sorry? Okay, move. We have move the player. And this will be separated into horizontal and vertical. So the horizontal we control with the keys, and the vertical depends on whether we have a platform below or not. Alright, what else? Okay, we have to initialize the player, and let's say that this is I think that this is enough for the player. I don't know, we'll see later on. What else do we have? Okay, floors. So we have floor generation, we have floor drawing, we have floors moving up. What else? Okay, draw the UI. Okay, we have difficulties. We have points. We have. What else do we have? Okay, so the power-ups, and game over. And I guess that's pretty much it. We'll see. Sorry? Yeah, I think that's pretty much all of them. Right. I guess that we should start with some, initialization logic with our, with our playfield and so on, so that we get that. So let's have a couple of, just 1 second. Let's have a couple of variables here that we'll use as constants quite often. So we have public const int playfield height, which I have set to be 30. So I've chosen this, and you could have chosen something else. I'm not saying that this is the only solution by any means. So we have after that public const int play. Did I call this playfield? Playfield width, which is I've chosen to be 40, and after that public const int, and I want to say score with add, which equals 15. And now I'll explain what that is. So that is so this is our playfield, this thing here, and I've added an extra space here, which is going to be for the score and for the UI. So I'm like separating my board and my game into two parts, and I want to have them as constants because I'll be using them later. And if I want to change something, I would have to change it only up here. Alright, so what else do we need? So let's go here and say console.buffer height equals console dot window height, I think was it? Window height, and that equals playfield height. Okay, the same thing for the width. So console.buffer width equals console.window width, and that equals playfield width plus. Score with at, yeah, score with at. So this will be our console. I would like to make something else as well. So console.cursor visible equals false, so that we don't see it every time when we move the cursor around. All right. Is there anything else? I guess not. Okay, I say that we start with the floors because I found them to be the easiest ones to implement. So let's make a while loop, which is going to be somewhere around here. So while true, and I would like to have a variable which is going to be is game over, and that I want to set to false. Let me go up. Let me go up here and say, what do I want to say? Public static bool is game over, and that is going to equal false, and we are going to set it later on. So instead of having a while true loop and have a break somewhere inside, I would just like to say here not is game over, which means that the game will be running. And just when we have the game over, as with the other games that we did, you know, we are just going to change the value of this variable. All right. So what is the first method that we have? Let's generate some floors. Okay, so generate floors. Okay, press Control dot, and this will generate the method here, which is not implemented. So we have the not implemented exception thrown here. All right. So how do we approach this? Okay. So I would like to have, you know, so let's have a look at this again. So the only thing that I have to generate, so imagine that we generate a full floor here, a full floor which is, you know, just with let's make them stars, and the only thing that I have to, you know, calculate at random is where the hole is, right? So I want to make a variable for that. Then I want to fill in everything inside the playfield as, you know, stars, and maybe just from the starting position to the hole width, I would like to you know, change that or vary that. Okay, so let's get back into Visual Studio. So I want to have int starting position equals rng.next, and I want to say that this is from 0 to playfield width minus hole width. Hole width. Okay, and since I don't have this RNG and I don't have the hole width, I would like to generate them above as well. So, sorry? It did work for me this way. So I don't know. Let's just leave it. Sorry? Yes, it starts from 0. So playfield. I'll explain what that is in a second. Let me just generate first the things here. So right, so we have to have public static random rng equals new random. Okay, this is the one thing that I'll use, and let's say here I don't know, floor stuff, and I want to have public static int floor width equals, let's start with 10, and then we can change it as soon as we get some difficulties done. Floor width or hole width, how did I call this? Let's rename this hole width. Right, and so why am I doing this? So the starting position of my floor can be anywhere from this, you know, up to here. But if my starting position is here, then I'll be going outside of the playfield, right? Which is not something that I want to do. So this is why we have to subtract the hole width from the play field so that we can generate it from the start up to somewhere around here, so that I can generate a hole here if I need to. Is that clear? And there was some comment or suggestion. Sorry, starting position. All right, thanks. Position. I did not see that. All right. So what else do we gonna have? Are we gonna have so int starting row? Can you guess what that is? It's gonna be no. It's not 0. 0 is at the top. So playfield height -1 because you know, if we All right. So what else do we have? So let's make a playfield first. Which I'll be using something similar to what I used in Falling Rocks, and to be honest, this game is, you know, very similar in terms of, you know, generation and moving and so on. So I would rather stick close to what I did there. So let me just find my playfield. It's right here. So I would like to create a public static int playfield, and this is going to be new int of playfield width, sorry, height first, and then playfield width next. Alright, so the idea here is very similar to what we did with Falling Rocks. So I would like to have this int array, which is going to be filled with zeros initially, and once I generate a floor, it will be, you know, filled with zeros. This array. After that, we will only be using these ones to move up and so on. If you wanna delete a floor and so on. All right. So how do I generate floor? So I need for I want to say I from 0 to playfield width. Okay, and I wanna this will be done in 2 steps. So the first thing that I want to do is, you know, just generate the full last row with ones, and then after that I'll generate my hole, putting zeros where I need. So I'll do this as playfield of starting row, and I would like to generate them from I. So this is the starting row is the very last row that we can use, and then I is gonna change through all of them. So what I am doing is I am starting here at the very bottom, and I'm just generating ones everywhere on this row as a first step. Okay, so this thing equals 1. The next step is to generate our generate our hole. So for, I have to put an empty space in between these two. So I have to start from the starting position, and then I have to be less than, what do you think? Starting position plus hole width. Maybe less than or equal to, or no? So if I start at 0 and the hole width is 1, this will generate me nothing, right? So this has to be less than or equal to, I think. Alright, and the only thing that I want to say here is playfield of starting row, comma I equals 0. What? Position. Alright. I have to use the autocomplete a bit more. Alright, so you get the idea. I generate once, and then I pick a hole at random, this thing here, and I just generate zeros there, so that once we draw, we're not gonna get, you know, anything. Alright, so I guess that's pretty much it for the first method that we will do. Okay, so after that, what do we want to do after that? Move floors up. So move floors up. Okay, and I would say that this is a bit easier than the Falling Rocks game, because then you had to, think that you had to do it in reverse so that you don't have any loss. But now we are moving from the bottom to the top. So the way you would normally do it is with two for loops starting from 0. So for I equals 0 to playfield height. And I want to have another for j from 0 to playfield width. And right, so what do we want to do? If I have a 1, I just want to put a 0 there and move it up. So something that we've already done. Yes, there is a question. So if we were doing that, if we were doing the reverse thing as in Falling Rocks, we would have to start with playfield height down to 0. Yeah, because our floors otherwise would move very quickly in a single step from the top to the bottom. But here you don't have to worry about that. We can just start from 0, and it is gonna work. So I want to say if playfield of I comma j equals 1. I want to say playfield of I comma j is going to be 0, and then I want to put the one above to be equal to 1. So playfield of I minus 1 comma j equals 1, and that's pretty much it, right? There is nothing else I have to do. This is how we move our floors up. All right, so what else? We want to draw them so that we see what happens. So draw floors, and let's generate that method as well. Okay, this is simple enough as well. So I have to make 2 for loops again. So I have to say for I from 0 to playfield height, was it first? Yes. And then I want to say for j playfield width. Okay, so how do I draw them? If the same thing, if playfield of I comma j equals 1, then and only then I wanna draw them. So console.set cursor position, and I want to say it to the reverse, which is j and I. We were talking about that. So j comma I, and I want to print something. So console.write, and let's say that we want to print some stars as our floors. Okay, if I run this now, it's going to be very fast, and we wouldn't be able to see anything. So let me put a couple of things in here. So I want to say thread.sleep, thread control dot to generate system.threading. So thread.sleep, and I want to say let's put it as a variable. Actually, this will be difficulty. And is there anything else that I want to do? I want to clear the console.clear at each step. And right, so let me put that difficulty up here somewhere. So let's put it, I actually want to move this a little bit on top so that it's more visible, because it's like connected to the playfield height and width and so on. Okay, so here I want to say public static int difficulty, and that is gonna be what do you say? I say 150. After that we can change it. So let's see what happens. Okay, so I think it sort of works. It looks pretty random, and there are a couple of things that are wrong here. So first of all, we should not be generating floors at each loop cycle. So we have to do something about that, and also they get above the allowed width on the console. So yeah, this is something else that we have to check. So let's first deal with not generating the floor at every single step of the loop. So how do you say that this is gonna happen? Suggestions? Okay, so we can have a counter and okay, so every other step we can generate some floors. Alright, so let's have the counter. Let me just see how I code it. So this is steps counter, and let's put it. Just 1 second. Let me find it. All right, so let's put it on top here. So int steps counter equals 1 or 0, and we'll see what the difference is. Okay, and here I want to say if steps counter percent, let's say 10 or 12 or 5. Let's just check. If this equals 0, only then I want to generate floors. And as soon as I write my next line of code, you will understand what's happening. So steps counter plus plus. All right, so let's have a look. So we start with 0, and each step we are gonna try to divide by 5. Okay, and at the end of each step I also increase the counter. So what's gonna happen is that in the first step this is gonna give me remainder 0, so I'll be generating a floor. Once I increase this, it will be 1, so this is not gonna be equal to 0. I'm not gonna generate a floor. If it's 2, I'm not gonna do that. If it's 3, I'm not gonna do that. If it's 4, I'm not gonna do that. And if it's 5, so every 5 steps I'll be generating floors this way, which is what I want to do. So let's give it a go. All right, 5, and we still get that error. Of course we can tweak this number. I'm gonna leave it as a constant for now. I'm sorry, as is for now, because otherwise here will be very big. Normally if we could separate into classes, it would be fine to have 5 or 6 constants everywhere, but here we have to put everything in a single class, so we have to choose some values not to tweak. And to be honest, this value is only gonna be used here, so there is not big of a chance for us changing it that much. Alright, so after that, what do I want to do to fix the bug that we had? So I want to clear the first row. The first row means yeah, so yeah, it is the last when you think about it, because it generates and it moves up, but in all honesty it's the first one, because we start counting the rows from 0, so from the very top until the end, right? So let's say clear first row, and let's generate that as well. So that should be relatively simple to do. Alright, so for from 0 to playfield width, I just want to put zeros everywhere. So playfield of 0 and then comma I would like to say equals to 0. And what this is going to do, as soon as we have something, it doesn't matter what that is, if it's a 0 or 1 or something else, I'll just change it to 1. So let's see whether we have this error again. Okay, it works now. You think it should be before draw floors. Alright, so let's just move it. So I'm just doing those in any order now, and after that it's actually gonna matter. So I may change things up, at least the order. So yeah. Alright, so let's have a look now. Does it draw the last one before it deletes it? No, still no. So first draw, then clear. Maybe first draw, then clear. And actually if I move this here, what do you think? So first I move them, then I draw them, and after that I clear the rows, so that we can see them going up here. Maybe. Yeah. So it works. No, no, no. It works now. It works now. You see them at the very top. What if you don't use console clear? What do you mean? Yes, you can delete the floors, manually. So instead of clearing the console, I would have to go through each floor and put empty spaces on them before I draw them again, before I move them again. Like the snake. Yes, but the snake had relatively few elements to redraw, and this is why it made sense to use there. But here we have many floors, we have characters, UI points, and so on. So a lot of things changing on the game itself. So I don't think it will be very different if we do it one way or another. But you can try. So I tried this game yesterday and it didn't blink that much. And normally you shouldn't be concerned about blinking because the idea is not to make it pretty, but just to get how things work. All right. So the next thing that I want to do, which is probably one of the easier ones, so let me just delete those, and actually let me pause this for. All right. So our floors are working, and I want to delete them. So okay. So the next thing that's probably quite easy is the UI, and especially if you're on the exam itself, that should have been very easy to do because that's pretty much the same thing as the Falling Rocks game, and you are allowed to use code from other games. So you could have just pretty much copy pasted this and it would have worked. Okay, so let's do it here. Draw UI and control dot and all right. So a couple of variables that we are gonna need, and I would say somewhere around here is fine. So public static string difficulty string. That is gonna be easy at first when we instantiate the game. Alright, after that, what do we have? We have the points, so public static points, int points. They are gonna start from 0, and that's pretty much it. So what do I want to do with the points? I want to increase them at each step. So points plus plus, and of course, sorry? How are points? Okay, so you want to see the problem. So points, let's have a look. Each floor pass generates 20 points. Each loop step should generate 1 point. Okay, I didn't see this, which is weird because I wrote it, but we can do that actually. It's not gonna be that hard. I just have to think a bit more how to do that. Let's do this last. Okay. Sorry, yeah, in the floor when we generate a floor, but not quite. Right there has to be some delay. So we can cheat it and say once you generate. No, actually we can't because you can. It has to be something a bit more complicated, I think, because I have to do it every time when I change the direction of my player from moving up to moving down, I think. So this is gonna be the floor that we've passed. Which are the upper floor from the hero? That means that we've passed them. Yes, but how are we gonna make this counter? So this is the problem. When are we gonna increment it? For each, but then you have to compare positions and so on. I think of an easier way, and you'll see once we get there with the logic that we are gonna be doing it. So the way we move the player, it's gonna be with a boolean, and it's gonna know whether we move up or down, and we will use that. Okay, so right, so let me put that as to do here. So to do 20 points means actually going through a floor generates 20 points. All right, and we'll do that a bit later. So okay, so here I wanna just print, you know, the UI, which is the next bit. So let's start first with the vertical line, which is this one that we'll draw. All right, so what do we have here? For I from 0 to play with height. Okay, and here I just want to say console dot set cursor position equals no, just I just want to set it playfield width comma I. Okay, and there I want to write, so console dot write, I want to have this sign, which is going to generate my straight line. All right, what do we have after that? So console dot set cursor position. I want to say playfield. What happened? I wanna place it a little bit further to the right and maybe slightly down. So playfield width +1, and then I wanna say on the third line. Okay, so remember that these are reversed. So the first thing that I want to say is the width, and then the height, which is reversed from the arrays, how we instantiate them and how we go through them as well. So console dot write, and I want to say, you know, points here. So points, and then comma points. All right, let's see where we now with the code. Okay, it seems that it's working, it looks fine. Let's generate the difficulty as well. So console dot set cursor position, and I want to say pretty much the same thing. So playfield width comma 5, just one line below. Console dot write, I want to say diff, and I want to make it into a different color. So console dot foreground color equals difficulty color, which I don't have and I want to have. So where is my difficulty? It's right here. So public static console color, which is an enumeration, difficulty color equals console color dot green. Okay, because we are gonna start with green. Okay, we've set it to green. Yes, there is a playfield width +1. Yes, you are very correct. All right, and after that I wanna just print it. So console dot write difficulty string. Yes, and let's see how it goes. Right, everything became green because I didn't change the color, and this is what I want to do last. So console dot foreground color. So once I've printed the difficulty, I just want to say equals console color dot white, and now it should be fine. Alright, so just by doing all of that, you have passed the exam already, or I think it was maybe just generating the floors would pass you the exam, but a couple of people didn't manage to do that. So yeah, I think this was not too complicated, right? I haven't done anything out of the ordinary here or anything, so yeah, I think it's pretty fine. the game for the second group, generating the obstacles was a little bit harder, but we'll see that in a couple of weeks time on the next workshop. Alright, so what to do next? I think it's about time that we did something for the player. So how do you suggest we implement the player? And here is when I think many people got problems, because the player looks like this. Okay, it's not, you know, a single target. They're not well, they're connected, but there are different lines and so on. So clearly we have to use some structure. We can't just type them all out and move them all one by one. There has to be some collection to help us. So what do you think? What can we use? Alright, so like a structure is good, and this is what we will use. Is there anything else that we can use? What do you think? And yeah, this is something that we haven't learned. I've only mentioned a couple of times, but we haven't actually used it anywhere. So I cannot make a list, clearly. That's not gonna do it. Or if I want to make a list, it will have to be a list of some structure which is gonna be position. But what we can actually use for this game only is dictionary. So we're not gonna use it here, but I just wanted to mention this. So dictionary, and it takes, you know, a key and a value. So it's like a dictionary that you type at home, where, you know, you have a word and you have to give the definition to it. So the key will be the word that I want to search, and the value is going to be the value for the specific word. Or, you know, if you're doing something with translations, it will be the translation of the word. So here I can actually do a dictionary of char and position, which is, so the character is the specific character that I have to draw. So either the head or, interesting, so either the head or the hands or the body. And here is a slight problem, that keys have to be different, okay, otherwise you can't make the dictionary. And we see that only, you know, this sign and this sign are different, but you can go around this and just say that the right hand is just the right hand with a space after that, and that will be fine. Which means actually that this has to be string and not character, so string. Okay, and after that, for each string, we'll have a specific value or a specific position that we can change every time. So if we want to move up, if we want to move down, and so on. So this is going to work as well. And the reason for me wanting to use dictionary is that there is a built-in contains method, and you can very easily check for collisions. But it turned out that there is a bug in .NET, which is has been, so it wasn't there for .NET 3.0, but it was there for 3.1 or 3.5 after that. Which is very, very weird. So if you for each dictionary, you can't change the values of the keys, which is very, very weird, I think. So there was a hack there where you actually make, you know, different keys with an array of string. And do you want me to show it to you? Is it interesting, the bug with the dictionary? So right. So if I make a let's put this in comments. That's my Skype for some reason. Some people playing Dota, actually. Let me turn off the sound as well. It's Dota time, yeah. Alright, so if you have some dictionary, and I can, you know, instantiate it, giving some, you know, giving a head and setting it at position, I don't know, 0, 2, and so on. Oops. What am I doing? I have no idea. And right. Okay, so if I want to for each, and I want to say var keys in dictionary name dot keys. Okay, and if I wanna change the value of each key, we get an error. So the error here is that we are actually changing the dictionary, which is weird since I'm only iterating over the keys and I'm not changing the keys, right? So there was a hack here where I had to say string keys equals dictionary dot copy keys, or it was something like that, and then I had to iterate in this string array for it to work. So keys here, okay, which is very and then this is gonna work, okay. But this is very weird, and I've seen some discussions on Stack Overflow, why is it weird and so on, but yeah, let's not get into that. So it's yes. Can we add, yeah, what's that gonna help us with? So the question is, can we add some, sir? You're not allowed to change any of them, actually. So yeah, this is this is the problem. So what we want to do here with a dictionary for each part of our human, of our player, we want to maybe move him right, and then I would like to change the value of my key, set it to a new position. So yeah, we are not going to use that. I decided that it's a lot easier to just go with a struct. So struct, do you want to put it inside the class, maybe outside the class? Okay, so struct position, and this is not going to be a regular position since we will have a sign as well, but let's do that. So I can put here just prop, say int, put it x, after that prop tab, I want to say this is y, and I want to put semicolon here. After that I want to also have the symbol, so public char, sorry, do I not need those? I don't. Public char, I want to say symbol, which is gonna be get and set. Alright, so this is gonna hold all of the information that we need. So we are gonna have the symbol and where it's placed, and we can iterate over that, change the values and so on, however we want. Actually I wanna instantiate it, so public position, and we are gonna say we wanna take int x, int y, and int char symb. Actually this has to be a capital, and here I'll just put it as symbol. Alright, and I want to say this dot x equals x, this dot y equals y, and yes, you are right. So x, y, and I want to say this dot symbol equals symbol. Okay, for those of you that don't know what that is, this is a constructor, and this allows us to instantiate it very easily, as you will see in a second. Alright, so the next thing that I want to do is actually initialize the player somewhere around here, maybe. So initialize player, control dot, enter, and let's see how to do that. Alright, so how are we gonna hold our player? And what kind of structure? What do we want to have? So I want to have all of the positions that are for my player, and also the characters. So make a struct, but it holds only a single value, right? And I want to have all of them stored in some place so that I can iterate over them. An array or a list, better, because if later on we decide to make like a big food here, then I would have to change the size of the array, add more elements, and so on. And if I decide to do this now, it will be very very easy. So did I mix up my guy? No, it's fine. All right, so let's make a list. So floor stuff, and here I want to. So did I mess something up? No. So I want to say player stuff here, and there will be a few of them. So I want to say public static list of position, and I want to call this player positions. I think that's how I code it as well. Player positions. Okay, and I'm not gonna say anything here. I'm gonna initialize it in this method here that I've just done. So let's do it here. Alright, so how do we initialize it first? Well, I want to say player positions equals new list of position, which is just gonna create it empty. And after that, I just want to add, the head. I want to add the body, the hands, and so on. Did I make play positions? Really, player positions. Okay. Right. Okay. So now I just need to add the element. So player positions dot add. We're gonna add the head first. So this is actually, let me just copy that a couple of times. So how many elements do we have? Were there six or seven? So 3 and 3, 6, and here I have 6. Okay, and everywhere I want to say new position. And in here I'll be putting some things as well. Alright, and now let's start with the head. So I would like my player to start at the beginning of the board and just start to fall down, straight away at the beginning. And after that, once the floor comes up, it will push him up. Alright, so let's have a look. Let's start with the head. So this is gonna be playfield height divided by 2. Then we have playfield width divided by 2. So at the very middle, and then I want to have the symbol, which is going to be this. Sorry? Yes, I wanted to start from the middle, like to fall down, and after that, once the floor comes up, then we'll just so that like you're not surprised by a floor at some point, just see what's going on and how you have to operate. Yeah, you can do it at the bottom as well. It's just a personal preference. Alright, after that, let's add the body. So what's that gonna be? We have playfield height divided by 2, and then I want to say +1, so I want it to be one point down, and then playfield width divided by 2, and I want to say that this is my body. Okay, playfield height divided by 2. So now I want to do one of the hands. So they have to be on the same line as my head, but one should be to the left, the other one should be to the right. So I want to say the same height as my head, and then playfield width divided by 2 minus 1. Let's do that one first, and I want to say this. Let me just copy all of that because it's going to be pretty much the same as the next one. So here I just want to say +1. Alright, and the last thing that remains are the legs that I think of. So playfield height divided by 2 +2, because they're 2 rows down, and then I want to say playfield width -1, because it's 1 to the left of my head, divided by 2 as well. and I want to say here this sign, because this is my left leg. -1, yes, this is my left leg, and I'll just copy that as well. There will be very few changes there. So I want to say here +1, and I want to make the other sign, but here we have a problem, so I have to have a space between them. Okay, one by one. Yes, I want to have a space between them, so that they're centered. Let me just put it back here. So this is my left leg. It's one to the left of my center, and then the right leg I want to be one step to the right of my center. Well, yes, but if one is -1 from the center, the other one is going to be +1 from the center. So yeah, let me just close that while you're there. Okay, so I have to escape the slash. Okay, so put another one. All right, and bracket where? Okay, here I have one more bracket. Okay. Right, and I guess that's that. Okay, let's just draw the player now. Because we actually don't draw it, so I've initialized it, and then I want to draw it. So sorry, what do you want to say? Okay, so let's draw it now so that we can see it. I'll put it here. I have no idea where I've placed them before, but we can, reorder. Sorry, not that. I want to draw player. Control dot draw player, and what happens? I want to delete you, and I want to say draw player, and I want to do that, and I want to say control dot enter, please. Yes, okay. So now this is fairly simple. So I want to for each my so for each, this is going to be position. I want to say, I don't know, body part in the collection, which is player positions, and inside here I just want to say console.set cursor position to body part dot y first, and then body part dot x after. Alright, and then I just want to console dot right, and I want to say body part dot symbol. Alright, let's see what happens. Yay, we have our guy. So right now he kind of goes through them, and it's actually sort of behind. So what I need to do is draw the floors first, and then draw the player so that he's on top of them, which is gonna change in a bit once we start moving the player and so on. But you see now that he's at the front of the floors. Okay, so what else do we have to do? We have to do the move player horizontally, so with the keys, and after that a couple of more a bit more complicated things. Let's have a short break now, and we'll continue in a Alright, so what remains to be done is moving the player. So there are two things that we have to take into consideration. One of them will be so moving the player sideways, which is gonna be done with the keys, and after that normally he always falls down unless there is a platform right beneath him. So this is what we'll be doing. Alright, so let's start with the easier thing, which is move player horizontally. Which is going to be done with the keys, and again, this code you could have pretty much copy pasted from the following rocks on your exam. It was not that complicated at all. So here I want to say if console dot key available equals true, only then I want to go through that method, so that we don't stop the execution of our code. And here is the hack that I was talking about. So console key info info dot pressed key, pressed key equals console dot read key true. And after that, I want to read keys in a while loop. So console dot key available. I want to say, actually this thing doesn't have to be like this. I want to say console dot read key true. Okay, so for those of you that don't remember this hack, and I'll say here hack. This is so that if we press a key and don't unpress it straight away, so that we don't keep going left. So as soon as I put my finger off the key, our character is gonna stop, and this is what this line does. I've explained it in depth in the Falling Rocks lecture, so you can have a look at it there. Okay, but after that, you know, it's pretty straightforward. If pressed key dot key equals console key dot left arrow, then I want to do something. Else if I want to say pressed key dot key equals console key dot right arrow, and I want to do something else. Then what is this thing that I want to do? I want to move my player left or right. So how do we do that? First of all, I want to say that we'll be doing all movements whether we can do them or not, meaning whether we are at the end or not with the head. So in correspondence of the head. So let me just put it that thing here. So okay, so this is the head, and now I'll use it as a reference point, and this is why it's my first element to be added to the list. And depending on where the head is, will determine whether we can go left or right. Of course, you can pick any other symbol, but I decided that this one is better. So so if player positions of 0 dot y is dot y minus 3 is bigger than or equal to 0, this means that I can move left as soon as I am, you know, three steps before the border, because we have some other characters below which are not at the center of my character. And in here I want to say for I player positions dot count, and I want to just move all of them. So I want to say player positions of I, and here you would think that I can change the value here, so that I can change I can say something like dot y equals some number, but I will be getting an error here, or at least I got one yesterday. Yeah, so I cannot change it straight away because this is a struct. It's a value type, it's not a reference type, and there is some problem here which does not allow me to do that. So instead I am just gonna say new position, and I'm just gonna create it however I want. So what I want to do here is player positions of I dot x. So I am not changing the x, the only thing that I'll be changing is the y, and I'll say player positions of I dot y, and I want to move it with speed of 3, let's say, so that, you know, it's not that slow. We can change that here as well after that. And then I want to say the symbol, which is going to be player positions of I dot symbol. So I wanna keep the symbol as is. I want to keep the x, and I only want to move the y, which is my width, so that we move horizontally. And the rest is, you know, very similar, so I'll just copy paste that. And here is going to be something else. I want to say +3, and I want to say that this is less than or equal to the width. So playfield width. So this is if I am going further to the right, then I wouldn't be able to go outside of the play field. All right, so here yes, question. It works with 3, so yeah, we're gonna test it now and see how it works. So these these constants I have already tried all of them, so I know that they work. So yeah, but you can play around with them and check which one works best. All right, so okay, let's have a look. So we wanna keep the x, the y has to be -3, and then I wanna keep the symbol. Is there anything else here? I don't know. Yeah, there is another 3 here, which weirdly enough I didn't delete, so let's try it now. Alright, so they are reversed. Okay. Okay, so the left should be -3 and the right one should be +3. And now it should work. So now we are at the very end here, and we are at the very end here, and so there is one symbol to the left that we can't get through, but this is normal since we are moving with the distance 3. Normally this can be fixed. I have to change the play field so that it's a multiple of 3, and then I have to position my player to be at some position which is also a multiple of 3, but I don't think that this is such a big problem, so I guess it will be fine with that for now. Okay, so we're moving left and right, and the only thing that remains is to move him up or down, which is going to be a bit more tricky. So what do we need? Okay, first of all, I really want to stress enough that movement here is not that hard. So normally you always move down unless there is something that triggers the move up. So I wanna start this by saying public static bool should player. I think that's how I called it. Should player move down, and this is gonna be true. So normally it's gonna be true, and we're gonna set it to true or false depending on the situation. And so with the points, the way they are calculated, it will be very easy to spot when we actually trigger this. So when we go through a floor. So going through a floor means that I have to change from moving up to moving down, and only then I can increase the points by 20 as we've discussed. Okay, so let's put the vertical movement somewhere around here. Move player vertically, and control dot, and I want to put enter here, and so this is my method. Alright, so let's have a look. So here I want to say if should player move down, I want to do something here, and else we're gonna do something else. Alright, but I can only move him down up to a point, right? He cannot go beyond the size of the console. So this is what this next line is about. So I'm gonna say if player positions, again the reference point will be the head of 0. I want to say dot x. Sorry? Yes, I can, but the point is that I'll have a separate if after that, or I'll have an else straight away. Okay, and this is better separated in steps. I can do that, yeah. I can do what you're saying, but this one looks better. It's more separated in terms of steps, because otherwise I wouldn't be able to say just else here. Else, and it will be is this the correct place? Yeah. So if should player move down, else means that he should move up, and we have different logic. If I put this condition up here, then this will not be an else, but it will be an else if, and then you have to read it and so on. But this makes it a lot easier to read, I think. All right, so less than playfield.height. So we can move him down up to a point, as I said, and now we just move down. So for should it be y? So x means the rows, the row of the head, which is the more vertical thing, right? So now we are moving the player vertically, and I'm looking for the row of my head, which can be first row, second row, and somewhere down there we have the playfield height. Okay, yeah, I know these are you can get them confused. So normally I would say this x to be row so that you don't get confused, but I'm used to x and y. So yeah, all right. So in I from 0 to player positions, yes, player positions dot count, and I just want to move all of them down. So this is a code that we've already pretty much written. So player positions of I equals new position of player positions of I dot x minus 1. I want to say, because we move him down with 1 unit. I want to keep the y, so player positions of I dot y, and I want to keep the symbol as well. So player positions of I dot symbol. Dot symbol. All right. So this is moving down. Do we want to check? Did I mess it up again? So this has to be. I think it's plus, yeah. Is it plus here? Yeah, I was looking at the at the line below. So this is a plus 1, which okay. So now we are falling, and we are stopping where we have to. Everything is fine, I think. Right. Okay. So right. Okay. So now we have to do the else, which is going to be very similar. So if player positions of I want to say bigger than or equal to 0. Now the head is at the very top, so I don't have to add or subtract anything. It's just this check. Yes, I think it should. Yeah, sorry, this one. Yeah, player positions of 0 should be this one. Okay, and so if we have this condition, I just want to copy it, sorry, just that, and I want to say here just minus 1 dot x, yes, dot x, and here I want to say minus 1 and delete that one here. Okay, but still we don't know how to trigger this boolean, right? So this has to be our next method. So right now it's going to be just moving down. Okay, and only if there is a collision, then we want to move it the other way. So this is something that will be done in another method. So where do we put it? Somewhere around here. I will reorder those probably after we do this method, because right now I'm just putting them wherever, and they actually have to have a some order. So check floor collision. It's gonna be this one. Control dot enter, and right. So how do we do that? So right now I want to have some other reference point for my check. So I want to have this right leg as a reference point. So I'll use that, and I'll say, well, if there is one below it, if there is a symbol below it, like a 1 from our playfield, or there is a one to the left, so somewhere around here, and one more to the left. Only then I wanna trigger it the other way. So let's have a look. Okay, so we have var right leg. I can just put positions here as well. Position right leg equals player positions dot last, and the last one was my right leg, if you don't remember. Okay, and to make things a bit more clear, I want to say int leg x equals right leg dot x, and I want to say int leg y equals right leg dot y, because I'll be doing all of the checks there, and you know, every time typing right leg dot x, right leg dot y will make my line quite big. Alright, so now what do we want to check? This is actually a bit bigger of a check. So we want to say playfield, that one below, of leg x plus 1 comma y, leg y equals 1. So this thing checks whether the one right below my right leg is equal to 1, or playfield of leg x plus 1. Then I want to say leg y minus 1 equals 1, or playfield of leg x plus 1 and then leg y what? Minus 2 equals 1. And I have the sign here, which should not be there. Oh. Sorry? Because we have two legs, and I want to change one to the left, and then one to the left, and then the other one to the left. Right, so we start from here. Let me just show that again. So I have this leg. Then we said that I have a space here in between, and then I have the other leg on the left. So I have to check 3 positions in total. This could make some problems, I think. Can it?
It can if we have a rock with one space.
No.
Right in the between the legs.
If your player is on the
edge.
if it is here,
So what he can
if it is here, there is
he won't. No, he won't. I said just the 2 legs.
All right. So the problem here is what is gonna happen if I just put the left leg and the right leg, and not the one in the middle. Okay, we can check that. So let's do that. So I'll remove this for now.
The middle one.
The middle one. I'll remove this one for now, and I want to put it as comment here to add maybe, and I've missed that P here, and we'll see what's gonna happen. Okay, we'll just test it, and we'll see what's gonna happen. All right. What do I want to do after that? Okay, I want to say should player move down equals false. Okay, then we want to move him up, right? And then I want to say else should player move down equals true. Okay. Yeah, let's play. I'm just thinking about the points, because normally I would put the points, you know, here. But this is gonna add too many points, I think. let's check, and then maybe I have to pause and think about it. Okay, our player falls indefinitely, so this thing doesn't really work as we want it to. So let me just check some of the conditions that I have. It probably should work, I don't know why. So leg +1 -2, should player move down equals true. Interesting why it doesn't work. Let me just check that.
What about the other function moving horizontally?
What about this one moving horizontally?
Vertically. Yeah.
Okay, this one. So else we want to say -1 here. Should player move down? All right, let me pause this and have a look at. Okay, so I guess that we have to change the order of the functions here in the way that we call them. So first up, I have the draw floors right after I generate them. Then I have the clear the first row, so this one here. Okay. After that, I have move floors up. Alright, that's there. Move player horizontally, move player vertically, and that's pretty much it now. So I hope that this is gonna work. Otherwise, I'll stop that again. I'll stop that again, I guess. Alright, so after doing a bit more work, this is the row that we should be doing the methods. So this is the order. So first we have to generate the floors if there is something to generate. Then we have to draw the floors, clear the first one, draw the player, and right after that we have to check for collisions before we actually move them up. Otherwise it's gonna mess up with the calculation. So we see that in the first two it kind of goes through them, but the next ones are working fine. So instead of fixing the bug, we'll do something that many game developers do. So instead of doing that, I would like to make it a feature and just do not spawn floors as quickly. Alright, so we see that with the way it moves, it's pretty hard and the difficulty is easy right now. So I would like to change the number of floors that we generate as well. So let me just do that very quickly. I want to go to here, and I want to change this value to 12. Let's change it to 12. Okay, so we generate floors, draw the floors, and so on. And one more thing, I would like to not start from 0. This means that I'm not gonna generate the first floor because it gets bugged, and all of the others are working. So let me do that as well. So I would like to start from 1, so that the first one doesn't get bugged again. This is a bug, and instead of trying to fix it, we'll just create it as a feature, just not starting from the first spawn. All right, I think that this thing works very well. I wanna
Your head can go to the start when you are moving.
my head can go to the
Start to the fall.
If you fall and go right or left too quickly,
Just
no. If
you
fall,
go to the blank space and then go left.
if
While your
I
player go left.
if I go to the blank space and then go left. So something like that.
right
Yes.
after you fall,
Right after I fall, I can move still.
walk you to the
Yes.
right or the left. You can go
Now
through-
right.
Alright, so now it sort of works. We have actually an error, which is going to be with the game over condition. So if I actually hit the top, I get an exception that I get outside of the array, but we'll fix that when we go to game over. There is one thing that I wanted to show. If I actually change this value to something like 13, I think was it when it gets bugged. We'll see. So now if I fall through the next one, I should be able to fall down. Yeah, so this is a bug. So every other floor I wouldn't be able to step on, or it appears to be random, but it's actually not. This has to do with the divisibility of the numbers that we do. So how quickly do we move down? How quickly do the floors go up? And if we actually generate them at counter, which is an odd number, then every other one will be odd, and we will just go through them. So this thing you have to keep in mind. But normally this is only done with console application games. If you do something with graphics, you would have to do proper collision checking, which is going to be I would say, well, not easier than this, but definitely it's going to work, and you are not going to have those kind of problems. There was a question. No. Okay, right, so now that we have 12 or pretty much any even number, this is going to work just fine. Right, so not many more things to be done. Let's deal with the easier ones first. So let's set the difficulty. Let me just check where to put it. So right down here. So set difficulty, control dot, and let's put it here somewhere. Alright, so what do we want to do? Depending on how many points we have, or the time that has passed. Let's see. Hopefully I didn't get something with time because I couldn't get it to work. Difficulties, there should be 3 difficulties, blah blah, so nothing there. So I can do it however I want, and you could have done it however you want. So I would like to do it with respect to the points. So I want to say if points bigger than 80, let's start with that, and then we'll see after. Then we have points points less than 160. I want to have difficulty equals 100. There are actually a couple of things that I want to change. Difficulty color equals console color dot yellow. I want to change the difficulty string as well. This is going to be medium. And what else? I want to change the hole width as well. So I think this was in the difficulty. So slow floors, large holes, faster floors, smaller holes, and so on. So let's go through here. So hole width. Why do I not have it? Hole width equals, it was 10, let's make it an 8. Okay, and after that I want to say if points are bigger than 160, then I want to say pretty much the same thing, but just change the values. So let's have a look. So let's put it here. I want to say that I found 70 to be playable and not too hard. So let's put that red. This is gonna be hard, and the hole width is gonna be 5. I think works good. It can be 6 as well, but it's not that noticeable. So let's try to reach medium and then try to reach hard. Okay, medium. We see that it got faster, and now hard we see very well that the hole is now a bit smaller. Okay, this is actually quite fun, I would say. I don't wanna die. Oh, some lucky floors there. All right. And no. No, 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 no. All right. It's good.
Let's make a competition.
Let's make a competition. Maybe if I finish it after that, we can do that. All right. Let's do the game over conditions so that we don't have to, because it's something easy, and so no, I want to say game over conditions. Make a method out of it, and this will be quite simple. I just want to check if the head of the player, so player positions of 0.x equals 0. Then I want to say is game over equals true. Alright, so now let's force a game over. Let's see how long. Okay, the fourth one. Alright, and then we probably want to print something in the end once we are out of the loop. So let's go outside of the loop. Alright, GG is fine. So GG. And maybe below, your points were okay. Too much. Let's not overdo it. Let's leave it there. Alright, so there, your points 37, you suck. Alright, now what's left is the power-ups. What about the points? We'll do those in the end. I'm trying to think of a way to actually increase them. I would have to keep the previous state in some variable, and I don't know, we'll see, I'm not sure actually. There are ways.
Between ones.
Sorry?
If the hit is between ones.
If the head is between that may not be a bad idea actually. I don't know, we'll see. We'll do that in the end.
Let's see what about the powers. What are they doing?
What are they doing? Okay, so let's have a look at that as well. So power-ups, power-ups and power downs. Okay, you should implement 3 power-ups, power downs. They are generated at a random position on each floor. So we had on each floor, yes. So we had a red apple, which increases the speed for 7 seconds. So these 7 seconds were something that got me puzzled. I think that my code is correct, but then again, it doesn't work, or it only works for the first time. Okay, then we have a yellow ampersand, and this decreases the speed of the floors. We have the green dollar sign, which removes the next. I wrote here 3 to 6 floors, but I think I did it with 2 because our floors are not generated as fast, and you go down to the bottom anyways. And here I have given some sample percentages of when they should appear, and but down below I say balance the game to your liking. So this is what we'll do. Alright, first off, we will need some variables for the power-ups, so I'll put them right here. So power-ups, and right, so what do we have? We have public, static, position, list of positions, list, position, and this is gonna be power-ups. Okay, they are pretty much the same as the character, right? So they have a they have a sign and they have a position. So yeah, and I want to say new list of position. Okay, and right, so we want to have a couple of booleans. So public, static, bool, faster. So this is whether we have to increase the difficulty or not, and that's gonna equal false at the beginning. I want to have public static bool slower equals false, and also I want to have public static int skip floors counter equals I have given 2 here, and you'll see why. I can increase that later on. This actually has to be a constant, I think. Public static const int, and I would like to change that to skip floors counter, because I am not gonna change that. Is always gonna be the same, and cannot be marked as static. Yes, of course. Alright, and there is one more that I am gonna use, which is gonna be public static int start time. So this is something that we'll be using to determine the time where every single power-up is gonna take effect, except for the last one, which is a lot easier to implement. Alright, so let's put it here, this start time, so that we actually keep track of the start of our program. So start time equals environment.tick count. Okay, this is if you don't know what that does, in the snake in the snake game it was used quite often, so you can have a look there. Alright, and so the first thing that we need to do is generate some power-ups, and I'll put that here. Generate power-ups, and control dot, and it should be down here. Okay, so we have some percentages, when to generate one thing, when to generate another. So here I would have to have such a variable. So generate generation percentage equals rng.next. And I would say from 0 to 100. Is that correct, or should I do something else? Sorry? Can I get, so this was the point, that if I put 100 here, the only number that I can get, the only numbers that I can get are from 0 to 99 and not the 100, so I want to make it up to 100. So this is why I have to increase by 1. And let's do it. Okay, so if generation percentage less than or equal to 10%, which is just 10 in this case, I want to say powerups dot add, and I want to say new position, which is going to be playfield height -2, and then at a random width. So rng.next, and here I would like to put between 1 and playfield width for the width, and the sign is gonna be an apple. Yes, we are gonna put it as an apple because we don't have a color in our struct, but yeah, we can check for the color as we draw. I think that's a bit better. So here I want to put the apple, and maybe put semicolon as well. Alright, so what is the idea? We have to generate it with each floor. Floors are generated at the bottom, and this is why we have this playfield height -1. I'm sorry, -2. Because my floors are generated at playfield height -1, I want this to be generated one step above. And then of course this is the random width that we'll have. Alright, so after that, what do I want to do? I want to say pretty much the same thing. So else if generation percentage less than or equal to 5, I want to generate so powerups.add new position playfield height, playfield height -2, rng.next 1 playfield width, and inside here, so what was the second one? Was it an ampersand and it was yellow? Where's the ampersand? It's here. And then else if generation percentage less than or equal to 3. Sorry? Let's deal with that in a second. Okay, so power-ups dot add new position playfield height -2 rng dot next. We have one playfield width, and then comma. I want to have the $sign. All right, so we have a problem here. Okay, and it is that so we have a couple actually. So if this is less than or equal to 10, this is gonna be done, but then the other ones won't be. Okay, I can change this to an if only, but then we have another problem that if it's actually less than or equal to 3, it will generate more. So instead of doing that, I would like to say here just generate again, right? Just generate the percentage again. So generation percentage rng dot next 0 101. And what this is gonna do, as soon as I see that I am less than 10, I am gonna generate again, because this is the one that is most commonly gonna happen. And of course there'll be some times in which I can spawn a new one, but then after that I will go to this if, and I'll see if it's less than 5, only then generate a new one, and so on. So I think this is one way to do it. There are others, I am sure. So yes, suggestion or
Question
yeah.
They should be on the each floor, but they should be at 5%, 10%.
Sorry, they should be
Can
at
you show the task again?
yeah the task.
So the first line is they are generated one position on each floor.
Yes, on each floor.
They are generated
On each, but 10% of the time.
Yeah, 10% of the floors.
So not on each. Oh, this mean on each that to stay.
Yes, I see what you're saying. Each they're generated at a random position on each floor.
I think on this, на всеки.
No, so what I wanted to do is not on each floor, but actually 10% of the floors. So here it says it's, but here it's not. Generated at a random position on some floors. Okay, and down here it's correct. So e.g. 10% of the floors. Was that your concern? Yeah. Okay. So I've changed that. So okay. So this is one way to do it. Of course, there are other ways to do it. But I want to get into detail of the probability here. You could have chosen it the way you want, and for the purposes right now, this is how we are gonna do it. Okay. So we've done this method. We actually want to draw them and move them up as well. So where are they? So generate power-ups. After that, let me see just where. Maybe here. Move them up. Move PU up is the next one. So control dot and let's do that. Let me just go through it. So I want to move them up, which is gonna be relatively simple as well, very similar to what we did with the player. Okay, so for I from 0 to power-ups dot count. Down here we have if power-ups of I dot x is bigger than 0. We have power-ups of I equals new position, and just create it again. So power-ups of I dot x minus 1. This is moving up, and then we have new position, power-ups. Sorry, no, what am I doing? Just power-ups of I dot y. So keep the y, and also keep the sign as well. So I want to keep power-ups of I dot symbol. And I have one more here. Okay. All right. Else if I want to say power-ups of I dot x is equal to 0, then I actually want to delete them, but it turns out that it's not that easy to go through the for loop and delete the one that you want to delete. So instead, I would like to just place them at a position where we can't reach them, and give them a symbol that we actually cannot draw. So this is the same like deleting. It's sort of a way around it, but I'm sure you can use something with lambdas that we haven't done already. So yeah, just do it this way. So we are gonna say power-ups of I equals new position. Now place that at 0, 0, and I'll give it an empty space symbol. And this is gonna ensure that there is no way that we can go through them a second time. Yeah, but it's not just about printing. It's also about, so if I don't print it but it is there, if my player goes through it, then it's gonna activate the power up, and I actually wanna place them as well as well as give them a sign that is not gonna draw them. So I wanna do both. Okay, after that I wanna draw the power-ups. Let me just say where I draw them. So draw the power-ups right after I draw the floors. Okay, so draw power-ups and enter, and let's draw them. That shouldn't be too complicated as well. So if power-ups dot count is different from 0, so I don't always gonna go in this method. Maybe I want to skip some steps if I want to. Okay, and right, so just 1 second to find it. I actually use for each. Yeah, so for each, let's call it PU in power-ups. What I want to say is I want to check all of them. So the first thing that I want to do is console.set cursor position to pu.y first, and then pu.x. And after that, I want to check what kind of a symbol it is. So if pu.symbol equals the apple, there. Then I want to do one thing. So console.foreground color equals console color dot red. Then I want to say else if pu.symbol equals ampersand. There I want to set console.foreground color equals console color dot yellow. Else if pu.symbol equals what was left? It was the $, and I wanted to say console.foreground color equals console color dot green. Alright, and finally I want to console.write pu.symbol
Make the whole color.
and make the color white. So console.set foreground color, sorry, just foreground color equals console color dot white. I wanna reset it after I've done it. Okay, so let's see what's happening now. Do I have anything else? I don't think so. Let's have a look. Alright, so they generate, you know, very often, like more often than they should. And do you know what the problem is? We should generate them right on the floor. So right now they're in the main loop, which means that the percentages that we have are for, you know, for each game loop and not for the floor itself. So I just have to put this here, and not only that this is gonna solve the number of power-ups that we had, but it also is gonna solve the problem where they were placed, right? Because we wanted them right above the floors. So let's have a look. I guess that we should be playing a little before that happens. We'll see if we are gonna see any power up. Yeah, I can. So this is not really good. As we see, we barely see any power ups, or maybe there is another problem which we will be solving probably. Alright, so let's have a look. Where do we generate them? So let's make this, you know, maybe like 50. Let's make this 30, and let's make this like 10. So at least now
I think we should start from the smaller to the bigger.
we should start from the smaller to the bigger one. Let's test it, and then after that I'll probably change them. Okay, so now we have the red apple there. Okay, we have two of them here, which is fine. We have another one. They generate quite often though. The way I've implemented it, yes, we can. I think that it works, sort of.
So I think it should be the numbers. The first, if it is 10% from 0 to 10. The second, if it is 5% from 15 to 20, it's just 5 numbers. And if it is 3% from 50 to 53.
We can do that as well. So instead of changing and instead of, you know, generating new ones, let's just do what it was suggested. So instead of doing that less than, I will just have intervals. So if the generation percentage is less than or equal to 50 and generation percentage is bigger than or equal to, I don't know, 35, how does that sound?
15.
Yeah. So this is going to be 15%. Let's make them a bit more. Let's make them 20 to make it a bit more interesting. And then I want to say if this is less than 30 and generation percentage is bigger than what? Make it 10, maybe 15. All right. So let's make, so this has to be bigger than or equal to. I want to make this less than 15 and generation percentage bigger than 5. Let's say 5. So this is going to be 10%, this is going to be 15, this is going to be, in all honesty, it's going to be 21, this one. So I can, you know, just say less than 50. So let's see what happens now. Okay, we got one straight up. We got another one. I think it works. We haven't seen the green dollar sign now, which it's interesting, but you know it's very rare as well. So let's just change here to see. Let's change it here from 5 to I don't know 990. So that's okay. So there it is. So it generates. And now comes the harder part, which is what they actually do. So, sorry?
Can we generate the powers on the whole, or it should be?
Can we generate them on the whole? You can, but then you would be picking it every time, and I actually want to make it a little bit harder so that you have to go and pick it up, and maybe it will help you after that.
There is no validation.
Yes, I wanted it to be this way so that it is a little bit harder. Otherwise, you would get the power up every time when it generates, and this way you have to think whether you want to go and take it or not.
No, but it's not like this.
No, it is. It's generated everywhere.
Yeah, even on the
See,
whole.
it's on the right. Yeah, it's fine. It's random. It's either on the whole or not. This is my point. All right.
But you can't go from the left side to the right side.
When you're falling, you can choose sometimes where to go to. I just think that it makes it a bit more interesting as a game. So if you want to change it, it's up to you. I was not giving points for that. All right, so we've done all of this, and the last thing that we need to do is check for power-up collisions, and this thing has to be done right below the floor collision. So check power-up collision, and this probably going to be the hardest of methods that we'll do. And I'm sure that I have a bug here, so we'll see what that is, and you have to help me if you find it. Alright, so okay. So what do we want to do here? We want to check whether our player has hit the one of the power-ups, and if it has, what kind of a power-up it is, and after that do something with the game. So let's start with that. So let's say for each body part in oh yeah, what did I do? So var, what did I do? Let's do that again. So for each var body part in player positions. Are you happy now? I hope. Alright, so then we want to go through all of the power-ups. So for for I from 0 to power-ups dot count, and after that we want to say if this is gonna check whether you know the place of my guy or one of the power-ups is, you know, the same. So if pause dot x equal, sorry, no, what did I do? Body part dot x equals power-ups of I dot x, and pause sorry, body parts dot y equals power-ups of I dot y. So means that if both the x and the y of the body part and the power up are the same, this means that we've collected it, and now we have to check if power ups of I equals symbol. Sorry, what symbol I want to check? Let's say this one. powerups dot symbol, yes. So okay, and after that I want to say else if powerups of I dot symbol equals not the dollar sign. I want to do that one first, and then I want to say else if powerups of I dot symbol equals the dollar sign. Okay, so let's see if my logic is correct, and you will tell me if it's wrong. So here I want to say start time equals environment dot tick count, which means that I reset the current timer.
So, what is the again the task?
Okay, so this one makes it faster, this one makes it slower, this one skips the next couple of floors. So I want to reset the timer, which is going to count how much time has to pass for my power up to be active. Okay, then I want to say difficulty plus equals or is it minus equals, so this is minus equals, let's say 50, and I actually want to reset the power up as well, but I can do that in the end actually. Okay, so also I want to say faster equals true, so that I am not going to be doing that all the time. Okay, so maybe I have to put it here as well, and faster equals false, so that I cannot pick it twice. Sorry?
Minus 15 will be okay.
Minus 50. 15 is too little, and
17.
it's gonna be really hard, yeah.
If you are on card, minus 15.
It will be too hard. Okay, so how about times difficulty divided by 150? So difficulty times a third. How does that sound? No, this is gonna be very hard to. This is gonna be very hard to do, I think. Just 15. All right, I'll just put it 15. It's not gonna be very visible though.
Minus difficulty divided by 2.
I have broken something.
Everything.
Let's see, what did I just do? So it's up here. Yeah, it's maybe some brackets. False. False. Alright, so now should be fine. Let's put it back up again. Okay, right. Okay, here. This one is similar, so I have to say start time equals environment dot tick count, resetting the timer, slower equals true,
Maybe faster equals false.
and slower equals false. Maybe faster equals false.
Because if you take two on the same time, you will use the second one, and slower equals false. If they are on the but if
All
you
right.
don't-
I listen to you. Slower equals false, and here I want to say faster equals false. Yeah. Okay, then I want to say difficulty plus equals 15. Okay, this one is, you know, I would say easier to implement, but I will need a different variable for that. So let me just find it. So skip floors counter has to be here. So yeah, I have it. Actually, what did I do here with my skip floors count? So actually I want to change this, and I don't remember what I did, but I guess we'll see. So I want to change this. I want to say here public. It's not gonna be constant, and I am changing it for some reason. So let me just put it here. So skip floors So skip floors counter equals 2. Okay, and somewhere here I just say skip floors counter plus plus. Let me pause so that I can have a look through my code and explain what that is in a bit more depth. So it's not plus plus, it's going to be equal to 0 in this case, which is going to reset it, and after that I would like to generate floors. So this is the very first method that we did. We are going to generate floors if and only if the step counter is what? Less than 2, I think. Do you agree? If it's bigger than 1, then you know, once I increment it, it's always gonna skip floors. But let me just check my code once again. Yeah, it's bigger than or equal to 2 if skip floors counter is bigger than or equal to 2. Are we going to increment it? I think we are in the end. So skip floors counter plus plus. So I am gonna increment it here. So skip floors counter plus plus. So what's gonna happen is that I am so once I pick up the thing, the what was it? When I pick up the $sign, the skip counter is gonna become 0. So I am not gonna get in here, which means that I am not gonna generate a floor. And after I have not generated a floor, I'll just keep increasing the counter every time. So the counter will get, you know, really big. So I'll be getting in this if quite often, and only if I pick up the $sign, I'm not going to be generating the floors. So yeah, I think that's that. There is only one more thing to do. So once I've collected them, which is my very last method that I've just done, so inside here, once I've collected the power up, I want to say that I actually delete it. So how did I delete it? So I would like to say power-ups of I equals new position, and here I wanted to say 0 0 and then the empty space. Right, so this happens after every single generation. All right, the last thing that remains before we test the thing is actually to reset the difficulty. So the problem right now that we have is we are always going to have -15 and so on, but we are actually not checking for any conditions to reset, or, you know, to say, well, get back to normal, and so and the 7 seconds and so on. So I had a bug there. We'll see why it doesn't work. So here I would like to have a method which is going to be reset difficulty, which I would like to be here. So reset difficulty, and generate that and have a look. Right, so okay, let's have a look. So if, and this is the statement that I have, so if environment dot tick count minus start time. So this is the current time, and this is the last time that I've reset the timer. So if that thing is bigger than 5,000 and faster, I would like to say in here start time equals environment dot tick count, which means reset the timer again. Environment dot tick count, and I would like to say faster equals false, and I want to say difficulty plus equals 15. We said 15. Okay, and I pretty much want to do the same here as well. So else if environment dot tick count minus start time is bigger than 7,000 and slower. Inside here I would like to restart the timer again, so environment dot tick count, and slower equals false, and I want a difficulty minus equals 15.
So I think
This we should check.
we should check about if it is false, faster and slower, down, and then change the difficulty. Because if you take first faster and then slower in this 5 seconds, you will mess them up.
Okay, so what you're saying is, where should I change? Sweet. Okay, let's just test if it works. So the only thing that I want to do, somewhere where I print the UI, I just want to print the difficulty as well. You know, it'll be easier this way. So lots of methods. So let's just draw UI, and let's find it here. Okay, so difficulty foreground color, difficulty string, and I want to just say here console.writeLine. Right line here, up here, and here I want to say difficulty, just that. It will get me to the very beginning of the console. Do you think so? Of the columns. Yeah, sure. Yeah, sure. Okay. Maybe, I don't know, a couple of spaces here. I don't know. Sorry? A lot more. Let's try this. I don't know. Let's try this. A lot more. Okay.
Or set cursor position again.
New string. Let's use our knowledge. How many times? 30, 50, 36. I trust you blindly. Okay, let's make them more. So the width was 45. So let's put it 48. Sort of. Okay. Difficulty is 150. We are not generating enough. So let me. Okay, there is one there, but I missed it. Okay, it didn't work. So let me just generate each one of them for a lot of time. For a bigger percentage of the time. And this is gonna be which method? Where did we generate them? It's here. Okay, so I want to say let's first say from 0 to, I don't know, 90, and let's see if it's gonna. So this one I cannot take. This one I cannot take. I took it and it changed, so we are fine.
And now
It changed as well.
return to the normal.
Well, yes, that's kind of what has to happen. Okay, but the problem is that once I've collected them once, I cannot collect them a second time, and this is the bug. Otherwise, it pretty much works. Sometimes I collect them, sometimes I don't, which is, you know, weird. Actually, I know what's the problem. It was the same problem as with the, if you remember, as with the floors. So if I put them at an odd generation number, so this was generate floors. No, it was not there. It was in the while loop. So while loop, which is not only there. Okay, so here, if I had put this as an odd number, I had a problem, right? Now I am just one above it. So if I try to change it to 2, so where do I generate PU? Generate PU. And here, instead of saying -2, I say -3. You know, it'll be slightly above it, but I hope that it's not gonna get bugged now. I really don't know. I'm not sure. I'm just guessing now. I kind of went. I only picked one, which was easy, but it worked at least. Okay. And after that, they just don't work. It looks random.
So the yellow don't work.
Yeah, so I picked them up, but for some reason they don't set the difficulty. So
So what about the green one?
what about the green one? Yeah, let's just try the green one. So let's make this. What was this from? From 50? From 50 to 30, and this one below was from. We want to make it from 0 to 90 and see if it works. But then I picked up a red one. Why did you appear red one?
It works.
It works. Yeah, is it gonna work if I pick it up again? Let me just try to pick it up. No? It doesn't want to be picked up. Oh, come on. Yeah, it worked again. So weirdly enough, only some of them work and some of them don't. I'm actually gonna change this to 2, and this thing to 2 as well, and this thing to 2 as well, because it seemed to be working more often. So this is the bug. I was looking at it for quite some time yesterday, and then I just gave up on it. Some collision problem, but I don't have any better way to check it rather than this one. So for each body part, so it doesn't matter what body part we use to go on to the power up, and for every power up we check what kind of symbol it is and so on. I really don't know. I really don't know how to fix this. Do you have any, like, it works the first time, right? We saw that, but it doesn't work after that. So any ideas? Can we see the
order of the method.
the order of the methods? Okay, so we have the draw them, draw floors, clear first row, draw player, check for collisions, check for power up collision, move floors up. What is this moan? Move player horizontally, move player vertically, move PUs up. Maybe first move them up and then move the player. What do you say? Does it matter? I say we try. So right here. I picked it up, deleted some floors, picked it again, picked it again. It seems to work now. Not really. And once I've collected one, then it doesn't allow me to connect another one, which is. Yeah, but no, I mean, when you look at when you look at the difficulty, it really doesn't change it, and I don't know why. But yeah. Alright, let's just change this back. Let's leave it there, and maybe we can work on the points, which I am still thinking on how to do. So this one was from 15 to 5, I think we said. Let's run it again. So now the problem that we have is that we want to increase the points once we've passed through a floor. So I am gonna need a little bit of time to think on that, and we'll do that in a second. All right, so this is what we came up with. It again only works for the first couple of floors, which is a bit weird, but I don't know. All right, so we take the row of the head and we check whether there are ones on the same row as the head. Maybe
Yeah. Take the food. Try with the food.
take the food.
Food. Try with the. Okay. There in the another with the game with the numbers. It is auto even. I think.
Okay, so a little correction. Instead of taking the head, which had some bug in it, we are actually taking the body. So this is the body, I think, the first element. Yeah. Okay, so every time when the body and the and one of the and how did we call them? So at each step, if the body and one of the floors are on the same line, only then we increase the points. So this is what it checks. So this 4 checks for once on the same row, which means that this one was for the floor. If that's true, then we just increase the points with 20. So let's see if that's okay. Increased by 20, increased. I think it works pretty much every time. Okay, let's play it for finish and let's see how much can I make. So this is good. I want to have a dollar sign, and I saw that, but there we go. Okay, I like this now. Okay, 900, 1000.
Not bad.
I actually find this quite interesting. So it's it's a nice game. I mean, it has some bugs in it, but oh, I couldn't take it. Oh, this one, yay! Cool. Okay, if I get to 3000, which I probably should, then I'll probably stop. Check the game over screen. Oh, come on. Yes. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Let's see the game over screen. Everything works, and that was all, I think, for this lecture.